age has brought about unprecedented opportunities and challenges, which shape the way we perceive, consume, and create literary works and linguistic expressions. As we dwell deeper into the digital landscape, we witness a plethora of changes that redefine the very essence of language and literature. From ebooks and audiobooks to interactive storytelling and virtual reality experiences, the digital realm offers innovative platforms for literary exploration. Furthermore, social media platforms, blogs, and online forums have democratized the process of literary dissemination, allowing voices from diverse backgrounds to be heard and celebrated. However, amid the marvels of digital innovation, we must also confront the challenges it presents to the traditional paradigms of language and literature. The proliferation of short form content, instant messaging, and emojis has raised concerns about the erosion of linguistic richness and literary depth. Moreover, the ease of access to information in the digital age has led to questions regarding the credibility as well as the authenticity of literary sources. In the face of these challenges, it becomes imperative for educators and scholars in the field of language and literature to adapt and innovate. We must embrace digital technologies as powerful tools for promoting literacy, as well as fostering creativity and enhancing literary appreciation. By leveraging digital platforms, we can cultivate a new generation of readers and writers who are not only fluent in the language of technology, but also deeply appreciative of the beauty and power of words. Furthermore, we must strive to maintain the integrity and vitality of language and literature in the digital age. This entails nurturing critical thinking skills, promoting media, instilling a reverence for the written word. By fostering a culture of intellectual curiosity and literary exploration, we can ensure that language and literature continue to serve as pillars of human expression and cultural heritage. As we embark on this journey of exploration and discovery, let us remember the timeless words of William Shakespeare, who once wrote, "All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players." In the vast theater of digital age, let us each play our part in preserving and enriching the legacy of language and literature for generations to come. In closing, I commend the organizers of this faculty development program for their dedication to advance the frontiers of knowledge and scholarship in language and literature. I am confident that the insights and discussions shared here today will inspire us all to embrace the opportunities of the digital age while upholding the enduring values of language and literature. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We believe that your experiences and insight will resonate well with our audience. And now, photography is not just about capturing the smiles, it also captures the souls. So, I request all the participants to switch on the camera. Let us freeze the moment with a photograph. I request all the participants of today's session to switch on the cameras and let us freeze the moment. I request the participants, the faculty of the Department of English, Mar Gregorius College, and everybody in the group to switch on the camera so that we can go for a photograph. Yeah, I can see a few responding. Thank you. Professor Chandravadana, is it good to click a photograph? Yes, thank you all. With this, we are moving on to the technical session of the day. May I now request everyone to please mute their microphones to minimize background noise during the presentation. And thank you for your cooperation. With this, we move on to the technical session of the day. Over to Dr. Suresh. Excuse me, sir. I think your voice is not audible. Dear participants, there is a technical glitch, I suppose. We'll just wait for a few moments. Thank for the understanding.
Am I audible now? At least anybody?
Ah, yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
thank you. Because I was with my laptop. It didn't take me in, but fine. I'll go with my phone. And let me just open my PPT so that it'll be useful for me to start on. I'm sorry about that. Just one moment. Okay, so that should be it. Okay, sorry about the hiccup in the beginning. Okay, we know that English is a language which is very important today because you don't have to talk about that because you already know about it. So let's start it immediately with the topic that we're going to talk about. Pronunciation. Some of us may agree, may not agree whether to pronounce words and sentences correctly or not. That has always been a debatable topic. But we're not going to establish whether it is going to be important or not. But what we're going to do is, since we are in the English stream, since we are in the Department of English, now we do have a subject called linguistics, and we also have a subject called English pronunciation. So that means what we do is we taught English, the words, how it has to be spoken. And before I begin, I'd like to just start with a question. So, what is your competency level in speaking skill? There's a um, question that I'd like to raise here. What is your competency level in speaking skill? Some of you may say that it is like average. I've given a rough figure. It is not based on any particular survey or something. It's all based on my observation. Some may say like good or excellent, maximum, they're excellent. But just imagine that. I'm going to just speak Tamil in a different way, not to offend anybody, not to offend Tamil language, but then just to give you a little idea about how we really speak English. It's like this. நான் இங்கு 6 மணி நேரமாக பேசிக்கொண்டிருக்கிறேன். தமிழிலும் ஆங்கிலத்திலும் உரையாடிக் கொண்டிருக்கிறேன். அனைவரிடமும் பேசிக்கொண்டிருக்கிறேன். அனைவரும் என்னை கவனித்துக் கொண்டு இருக்கிறீர்கள். Suppose if I speak Tamil like this, and if I ask you to quote me, like to scale me here on the screen that you see, where would you put my Tamil to? We're not talking about the other skills. You know that language means 4 skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. But we are specifically talking about the speaking skills. So when it comes to the speaking skills, where would you put me under? Somebody could even put me in the WhatsApp, I mean, in the chat box as to where would you put me under? How would you score my Tamil? Just a while ago, I spoke. Anybody would like to at least volunteer and tell? How much percentage, or what would be the percentage of my speaking skill, Tamil speaking skills? Any one person at least in the chat box, or at least you can unmute and put a word. Anybody? I hope I'm. Yes, somebody. Yes.
Sir, we don't know that Tamil language actually.
Okay. Okay.
So we are
Somebody
going to
who
put in
knows.
part actually. If at all, somebody from Tamil Nadu has to address you.
Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. Thank you, but I really appreciate
Thank you so
your
much.
response. Somebody
But,
who is good at Tamil can
but what you
just
spoke was
just
beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. But I request somebody to give me a comment on that so that we can proceed further. Yes, somebody.
So
Good
would give
evening,
you
sir.
50%, sir. Okay.
40%. Very good. So very good. I appreciate somebody at least. Your name, please, and which college are you from?
Sir, I'm Janani from Mar Gregorius College.
Very good, ma'am. So you're giving me 40%.
And I'm giving you 50%. Good.
50%. Very good. I appreciate that. Okay, ma'am. Thank you. You can get back. Now, let's talk about this here. So, what's wrong with this word and the sentences? Now, I think I spoke the right words at the right order. There is nothing wrong with the vocabulary. There is no problem with the sentence construction. It's just the way how I pronounce the word that made the difference. So that means the way how I mean, speaking Tamil like this, and nobody can give me not even excellent. You cannot say that I speak excellent Tamil, even though I use the right word and right sentences. But it's just the way how I pronounce the word. So that means when it comes to professional English, when it comes to the proper kind of English, or maybe you can say that work culture or work English, workplace English, definitely is not just good because there are so many people today, they speak very good English. So the competition has started. So it is necessary for us to speak English the best of the best way, comparatively, so that we get more opportunities in this highly competitive world. So the way how I spoke Tamil, more or less the same way that how we actually speak English. Sometimes we we know that the long sound and the short sound. Sometimes we give a long sound instead of the short sound. Sometimes the other way around. For example, we say food, food. Sometimes we say, some of us, food. How is the food? But it has to be the long sound, food. Sometimes we say foot, 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 but it is actually foot. It's the short sound, but sometimes we say the long sound. Sometimes we say like film. There's no extra sound. We actually introduce an extra sound like film, film. But the spelling itself is like film, Film, film. But we again sometimes give an extra sound into it. Sometimes we miss out the existing sound. For example, the word we say tuition, tuition, but it has to be tuition. There are three sounds in this word. Tuition, tuition, tuition. That's how we actually must pronounce this word, but then we miss out some words. Likewise, in all perspectives, sometimes we give the stress at the inappropriate place because English is a language where every word can be split into pieces. Every piece is called the syllable. And not all the syllables are given equal volume when we pronounce this word. Only one syllable is given more volume. The other syllables are lessened. I mean, the volume. So we call that a stress. For example, the word India is a democratic country. We say democratic. There are four syllables in this word, but we give the stress at the inappropriate syllable, like demo, but it should be democratic. Dema, like we usually say democratic, but it should be democratic, not ma, where we have the stress. We have the stress at the syllable cra. So democratic. India is a democratic country. So likewise. So these are the areas where we actually have to fix it. We know that some of us may say, no, we're not going to speak with the native speakers. We're not in English country, so it's not necessary to speak English with the right pronunciation. Of course, I really understand that, but then it's today everything has changed. Competition, like I was talking about competition. So the one who speaks very good English will always get picked up in this kind of situation, even though that person is going to work in a Tamil context, in a company that is in Tamil Nadu, where even they are going to speak less English. Even then, in this context, a person with good English or very good English with correct pronunciation will be definitely opted for in this kind of situation. So But is it possible, first of all, is it possible to go ahead and learn and speak like the British or the English? Again, there are varieties like British and American English. So we're not going to talk about the accent, the overall accent. We're only going to specifically focus on to the pronunciation of words. So there are some areas, if we go ahead and fix it, or fix that problem, then we will definitely be able to pronounce words and that will be intelligible to people, everybody in the world. So that is what we're going to talk about. Just to move on, we know that if you have literature background, you know that the spelling is not the way how based on which you have to pronounce the word. Spelling is only for writing purpose. The job of spelling ends right there with the writing. But when it comes to pronunciation, you need to go on with this IPA, International Phonetic Alphabet. We have already learned about these things. So there are 26 letters, but we have 44 sounds. Every sounds are divided into, again, categories like short vowels and long vowels, and voiced consonants and unvoiced consonants and diphthongs like this. But then, sorry. So that means if a word has to be pronounced, in the dictionary, you don't have to go learn anything new. You don't have to go break your head to find out how to pronounce words. Simple. In the dictionary, next to the word in bracket, you will find these symbols, these symbol combination. You put these symbols one by one accordingly, and then you sound it together. That is the pronunciation of the word. It's already there. That's the formula as to how you really have to pronounce the word, not based on the spelling. Because if you go based on the spelling, your accuracy will go approximately about 60%. You won't be able to touch about that. You cannot go over 60%. Almost the kind of words that we use in our daily conversation, we pronounce almost 40% of the words with 80% perfection, and again another 40% of the words with less perfection. So it varies from word to word. So, but how to do it? What to do it? How what to do actually in order to fix this? So that's what we're going to do, starting with the letter A in the English language. You know that there's only one letter, but it gives about 6 different sounds. Just imagine that there's a name called Saravanan. Just an example. Saravana. And there are 4 A's, letter A's in that word. If you give this word to somebody from English country, you know how many times, how many types of pronunciation they may have with this name? You almost have like apply these 6 into 4. 24 different type of pronunciation for the name alone. Sometimes like sa, if you go with the first one, Saravanan, and then say name, and then Saravanan, Saravanan, say and sometimes it's funny. Yeah, it's likewise. So how do we know actually which letter has to be given which sound? We almost got perfectly perfect except one sound. The second one, for example, the word gate. Again, it's a diphthong. A is a diphthong, but we only give a short sound e. For example, get, gate, mate, rate, plate, late, date, like that. But then it is a diphthong. Diphthong means it's a combination of 2 sounds, 2 vowel sounds. It should be a, but we only say e. We say get, but it should be gate, eight, paper. We say paper sometimes, paper or paper, but it should be a, paper. And then date, not date, date. So this is the only area that we actually go a little away from the actual way, but this is what we need to go on. So this is an example I'm just giving you. Let's start from here again, even the word letter O. There are 3 different sounds it gives, letter O. 2 of them, we are okay with that. We already go good. But the last one, O sound, which is a diphthong, but we only say O. For example, no, go, so, phone, home, road. It's a diphthong. O, 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 O. Go, no, phone. So that's the way it should be. But we usually leave out one of the diphthong sounds, which is a combination of two, and then go with the remaining, and like lessening the perfection of pronunciation of those words. And let's start from here. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to just find out the bits and pieces, and those areas we're going to work on, and then we're going to develop bits and pieces here and there to develop the way how we are going to speak English. Starting from the letter E. Any word ends with the letter E, by default, it is actually silent. But there are some words, in some words, they are pronounced. And there's somebody's playing something. If you could mute, that'll help me to proceed. Sir? Sir? Could you mute yourself, please? Okay, thank you. Oh, thank you. Okay, the word. We usually say Adobe, like Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Reader. Not that word is actually pronounced as Adobe. So that means we have to pronounce the letter E as well. Adobe. And then there's a word called extempore. We usually say extempore, but it should be extempore. Now there is somebody who is actually making some noise. Could you mute yourself, please? Okay. Adobe. Adobe extempore. Extempore. And then there's also another word called hyperbole. That's what we say. It should be hyperbole. Hyperbole. So only these three words, the rest all as it is. So you may just learn these three words like hyperbole, extempore, adobe. That's how we have to pronounce this word. Let's move on to the next one. Let's come to this letter R. The letter R is actually pronounced, sometimes it is pronounced, sometimes it is not pronounced according to this British English. Since we follow this British English from this colonized context, we go majority towards English, British English. So that means the letter R, we all the time pronounce this letter R. Like sometimes when we pronounce it, we pronounce it like father, mother, brother, park, dark, road, door, floor, like that. But actually, it's very simple. In the British English, sometimes it is pronounced, sometimes it is not pronounced. But how to find out? If you just look at this screen, you will know that if the letter R is followed by a vowel sound, then you have to pronounce the letter R. But if the letter R is followed by a consonant sound, then you just have to mute it. 100% mute the letter R. For example, the word D-A-R-K, dark. It is dark in the night. So we usually say like it is dark, some of us. It is dark in the night. What is your mark? What is your mark? Something like that. So the letter R is followed by a consonant. That means you have to mute the letter R. The same way how you say it, but just mute the letter R. For example, mark, dark, park, like that. And then if the letter R is followed by a vowel, then we have to pronounce it. For example, we say like brother, not like the way. What we do is that we give more beatings like brother, father, mother, teacher, bride. Some of us, I'm not saying everybody does like that, but I'm just enunciating like this to give you an exact idea how it is. So we have to cut it short to one beat. That should be cut down to one beat like this. Brother, bright, great. I don't say great, I say great. Just one beat in your tongue. Bright, great. So that's the way we have to do it. Simple. If the letter R is followed by a consonant, we have to mute it. If the letter R is followed by a vowel, we have to pronounce it. But we have to make sure that we only give one beat, not more than one beat, like the flapping. And then if the letter R, if any word ends with the letter R, we have to mute it as a word. For example, we should not say father, no, father, mother, because a word ends with the letter R, you have to mute it as a word individually. Car, not car, car. Door, no, door. Floor, no, floor. Car, any word. Um, it's far. For, there's a word called FOR. For. That's what we have to say. Simple. All you have to understand is that any word ends with letter R, you have to mute it individually. But if you're going to put the same word in a sentence, that's going to be a little different category. For example, when you say the word teacher, it is teacher. No sound for the letter R. But if you put the same word in a sentence, the R you have to pronounce it with one beating. So look at the sentence. He's a teacher of English language. Teacher of English language. Why? The rule is this. The letter R must be followed by a vowel so that it will be pronounced. Otherwise, it is silent. If you see in a sentence next to the letter R, there is a word that begins with a vowel, O. So you have to pronounce letter R. It doesn't matter whether it is just in a sentence, you just have to follow the same. Individually, it is mute, but in a sentence, it is pronounced. That's how you have to apply to everything. Every word, every sentence is exactly the same structure, same formula. But that's not the case with the American English. They don't have the silenced R or pronounced R. They pronounce it all the time. Not like us, but they pronounced changing the sound into like thumber. There's a word sound, there's a word called thumber, we know that. And the last sound, like that. So father, mother, brother, sister, car, brake, door, lorry, like that. That is how the Americans speak. Now we're not talking about British or American, but the English, this is how it is. Since we are academically close to the British English, we're talking about that. Otherwise, if it comes easy to your tongue, this American English, you can go ahead and do that. Nothing wrong with that. The next one, and the word THE. The word THE, we always sometimes say the, sometimes the, but you may have some confusion. But there is an easy way to understand or remember. If you write the word on the board, THE, if you ask anybody to pronounce the word, nobody, literally nobody can pronounce this word correctly. Because the pronunciation of the word THE is completely dependent upon the beginning of the next word. So that means you have to ask another word. Sir, what is the next word? So that I'll be able to tell you whether it is the or the. Simple. If the next word is going to begin with a vowel, then you say the. For example, the apple, the orange, the elephant, the umbrella, the eagle, like that. But if the next word is going to begin with a consonant, then you say the. For example, the chair, the tree, the class, the student, like that. So that means it depends on the vowel. Before vowels, the. Before consonants, the. That's the way we have to go. But there's one exception. If you're going to go highlight a particular point, then irrespective of vowel or consonant, you have to say the. Example, he is one of the best student in the classroom. It is one of the best model in the market. It is one of the best cell phones in the industry, like that. Because you're highlighting here. Otherwise, in a normal context, you have to go accordingly. Before vowels, the. Before consonants, the. And the next one we're going to talk about is the words ending with the AGE or AGE. So mostly what we do, we give the long sound. For example, college, village, mileage, luggage, breakage. I've given some words on the right side. You can take a look at that. So what we do, we say age, age, age. It's a long sound. We have to put it to short sound. Instead of a, it's ij. So you say college, college, village, village, college, manage, package, mileage, luggage, sewage, sewage, no, sewage, sewage. So that is how we really have to pronounce. That's the one sound that makes a lot of difference. You can find as many words with this ending. Just go instead of a, you put it to ij. And the next one that we're going to talk about is the words ending with CIAL. Sometimes we say racial, commercial, artificial, beneficial, like CL. No, the ending CIAL, you just have to pronounce it as the word shall, SHALL, shall. So financial, artificial, commercial. Uh, Somebody has unmuted. Please mute yourself. You're disturbing the class. Somebody called Satya, please unmute yourself. Satya, somebody who's logged in under the name Satya, please mute yourself. Somebody's like Pearls, please mute yourself. I don't know, maybe the admin can mute them. Please mute those people if you may, please.
Yes, yes. Sorry for the disturbance. We are just trying to mute you. Participant, it is a humble request. Kindly keep yourselves on mute.
Okay, let me try. So, any word ends with a CIL, you can replace the sound as shall, just like we already pronounced the word shall appropriately. So I can say beneficial, racial, facial, not facial. It's like facial, racial, artificial, commercial, like that. Shall. So I hope you got the idea. So we can move on to the next one. Look at these word ending. MENT. Any word ends with the MENT, we always say like meant. Instead of saying meant, it is actually a little change you have to make. Month, not may. It's ma. That in Tamil we say kombu, like meant. You remove the kombu, you say ma, month. Like announcement, pronouncement, treatment. But if you go to US, any word ends with the NT combination, they always pronounce the T. For example, plenty. International, I'm sure you must have heard about this pronunciation somewhere with this word. International. Plenty of people, like plenty of students, something like that. And then word combination, the negative contraction, we say, I don't know. They don't say I don't know. They say I don't know. They will silence the T, because usually in the English language, the Americans, they silence the T if it is combined with NT. That's why we say 20. They don't say 20, because 20 is British. The Americans would say 20. And that is because NT combination, they will silence the T, like 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. That's because of this rule. And the other areas, the negative contraction. For example, don't. I don't know. They don't know. I didn't come. They would not say I did not come or didn't. They don't use the term, the pronunciation style didn't. They say didn't. I didn't come. He didn't come. They didn't come. Something like that. Likewise, all don't, can't. I can't do this. We say sometimes I can't do this, but they say I can't do this, because NT combination, they will silence the T. And the other area is words ending with MENT. So whenever there is an MENT ending, they will always silence the T. Like the announcement is, they would say announcement is. They don't say announcement is. Not like that. The treatment is going on. They don't say the treatment is going on. They say the treatment is going on. Men is going on. The T is silent. So that's the way they pronounce it. But it's up to us. Whatever comes easy to us, we can go ahead. but that's how this word is pronounced. And then there's some words ending with the T-A-I-N. So whenever there is a word ending with T-A-I-N, what we say? Tain, like Britain, certain, certainly, mountain, fountain. No, simple. Just silence the I. Go with the remaining. So that means captain, Britain, mountain, certain, certain. No, because already the R is mute because the R is followed by a consonant. So certain, certain, certainly. No, certainly, certainly. Fountain, fountain. No, mountain. No, mountain, certain. So that's how we have to pronounce. So all you have to remember is any word ends with a T-A-I-N, you have to mute the I. Go with the remaining. Pretty simple. The next one is the word ending with the T-I-O-N. We usually stress it here like communication, education, generation, something like that we say. But any word ends with the T-I-O-N, definitely just right before the suffix T-I-O-N, you will have the letter A or the A sound. So that's how we have to pronounce it.
Excuse me, sir, you're not audible. Sir, I can see that you're on mute. Please unmute yourself.
Sir, actually, you are muted by the host.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir, it is fine
Yes,
now.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Okay. So how long? I don't know from which slide I was muted. I was talking a lot, but I don't know.
No, so from
Just a minute.
I'm sorry?
from the word TION session.
Shun. Okay, great. Thank you. So, like I was talking about, like any word ends with the T-I-O-N, there's it is always just right before the T-I-O-N, you have the letter A. But definitely you will find I'm sorry, the letter A with that. So that's where you have to give the stress. So education, communication, generation, that's how you have to say it. It's a diphthong. It's a E-I, that sound. A. That is how we have to pronounce it. So that's why we have to give the stress as well. So we'll move on quickly with the A-T-I-V-E. You know, what we do with these words is like, look at that. Like representative, quantitative, qualitative, authoritative, argumentative. That is how some of us actually pronounce it. But instead of saying te, it's ta. Instead of the long sound, it is the short sound. So that means we have to pronounce it as like representative, qualitative, qualitative, no, qualitative, quantitative, qualitative, representative, argumentative, cumulative, cumulative, no, cumulative,
Excuse me,
meditative,
sir.
imitative. Yes,
Sir, the slide is not visible, sir, actually.
the slide is not visible. Okay, I think I'm not. Okay, let's just a moment. I hope it is visible now.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir, it's visible.
Thank you. Thank you. So the word ative ending. So instead of telling qualitative, it is qualitative. T instead of qualitative, quantitative, representative. So even in this word representative, there is a letter yes. In English language, both in the British and the American English, it's the same rule. The letter yes is not always yes. Sometimes it is yes, sometimes it is Z sound. We know the difference between the yes and the Z sound. So there's one of the area where we have to pronounce the yes as Z is when you find the letter yes in between the vowels, you have to give the Z sound. Look at the word representative. The yes is in between the vowels, so you have to give the word, sound Z, Z. So representative. Not only that, look at the word please. Excuse me. If you write down these words, the yes must be in between the vowels. Wise, wisdom. Even write down the word wisdom. I'm sure that some of you may have a pen and a pencil or paper. You can write it down. Wisdom. There are so many words in the English language. I'll also show you like some of the list of words where we have to pronounce the yes with the Z sound. Simple. If the yes is found in between the vowels, go with the Z sound, even though it is a yes sound. And sometimes the Z is not always the Z sound. There's a word called pizza, P-I-Z-Z-A. We know that. Just because there are two Z's, we most of the time we pronounce it with the Z sound. But there is no Z sound at all with this word. Just the yes sound. It's like just write down P-E-E, P-T-S-A, pizza. That's how we have to pronounce, not the spelling. But that's the way you have to pronounce it. Pizza. There is no Z sound at all. The spelling is Z, but there is no Z sound at all. You have to give the yes sound. So pizza. P like P-E-E-T-S-A. How do you pronounce it? Pizza. That's how we have to pronounce. Pizza. No, pizza. Pizza. That is how we really have to pronounce it. So you can just keep that in your memory. Sorry. And some of the words like able. Sometimes we say comfortable, vegetable, notable. No, not table. It's double. Like comfortable, vegetable, notable, suitable, editable, quotable, rentable. So that is how we have to pronounce. So these endings you have to remember. So it's not table, it's table. Quickly, we move on to the STEN. There are less number of words with this kind of ending. Any word ends with STEN, you just have to silence the T. So you just have to say listen. Sometimes we say listen with a Z sound, no Z sound at all here. Listen. And if you remove the T, you still find the yes in between the vowels, but we don't give the Z here because the stress falls in the beginning. So listen, listen, or this word must be pronounced without the Z sound. Listen, hasten, hasten, no, hasten, fasten, and then some of the very least number of words that you can find out just on the screen. So the next one is STLE. So again, we know this, but then just remember this. I'll go a little more faster. So whistle. Any word ends with this TLE, we just have to mute the T. So whistle, castle, nestle, hustle, rustle, gristle, like that. And then words ending with the KET. So what we do, market, ticket, cricket, locket, nocket. It's KIT. Spelling is KET or CET, but you have to pronounce with KIT sound. Kit. So you have to say market. Market, no, because the R is mute. R is followed by a consonant. So KIT, kit, market, ticket, cricket, basket, basket, no, bucket, no, bucket, blanket, jacket, pocket, KIT. The spelling is KET, but you have to give the sound like KIT, kit, like pocket. What is there in your pocket? That's how you have to say pocket, like KIT, kit. What is in your pocket? That's how we have to pronounce this one. Look at this, one of the sounds that we 90% of us actually go wrong with this, meaning we don't follow this sound. Look at this sound, zh. We don't have this particular sound in Tamil, but look at these words. We use these words regularly. We usually say we replace the sound sh, like fusion, dilution, version. Sometimes we say version, allusion, aversion. Sometimes we say aversion. Not like that. It should be je. It's the je sound. You just start the same way, like how you say sh, like when you say sh, je. The same mouth position. Z, like honeybee sound. When you say yes, the hissing sound, snake hissing sound, that is a snake sound. That is a yes sound. But if you say like the honeybee sound, it is a Z sound, like buzzing sound. So that is the Z sound. Likewise, shh. If you say, it's like somebody we ask somebody to keep quiet, like shh. That's a sound. The same position, like the honeybee kind of a sound, you have to try to give, like zh. So you have to say fusion, delusion, version, illusion, aversion, illusion, occasion. So that's the way we have to pronounce. And some of the words like any s's, we may skip it, and we may also skip it. Mm, Okay, some of the words ending with land. We say land, Iceland, inland, garland, Holland, woodland. There's even a brand called Woodland. But instead of saying the long sound, you have to put it to a short sound, like island, inland, garland, Holland, woodland, woodland, woodland. Mainland illa, mainland, L-A-N-D, land, wonderland, Greenland, Netherland, wasteland, wasteland. Sometimes, I mean, we know that T.S. Eliot wrote wasteland, so we say wasteland, no, wasteland, wasteland. So that's how we have to pronounce this. These words ending with L-A-N-D. And look at this again, another, the similar sound like zh, where we go wrong. Look at this word ends with S-U-R-E, like pressure, treasure. We say with the SH sound, like pressure, treasure, exposure, measure, composure, disclosure, closure, seizure. We only give the SH sound, majority of us. We have to replace it with the Z sound. This is for perfection. So treasure, measure, pleasure, composure, seizure, and then words ending with S-U-A-L, like visual, usual, casual. We say casual as like SH sound. Casual, no casual, it's casual. Why it is important? It's for the perfection. If you say with the SH sound, the perfection with the pronunciation of this word is like casual. If you say, it's approximately about 70% I would give when it comes to the perfection, not 100%. Maximum that I would give would be 70%. Just imagine that in your name, just flip one sound. Flip it in either way. Long sound, short sound, or replace with some other sound, do something. And just read it or say it. How does it sound like? Sometimes different, sometimes funny, sometimes like unintelligible. No, and you just can't even bear with your name with one sound being spelled or pronounced differently. But think about English language. See, if you don't know, that's not a problem. Not knowing is not a crime. But when we get to know, then it is better to follow. And it is not that difficult to follow this as well. So it's pretty easy. So casual, visual. And look at this word. We say genre, genre. Not exactly. If we say genre, it is only 40% perfection. If we say genre, I would say around 75%, not even 75. I would say again 65 somewhere. It should be the sound, the three-like symbol. We know that if you're literature, you know what that sound means. It's like genre, genre. Not like the John, like name. Genre, genre. There are two ways you can pronounce this word. Either you say genre or genre. Not like the name John. J is not the J sound. It's the three-like symbol. Jean. Either you say Jean or genre. So this is how actually you have to pronounce. But I'm going to take another um, at least another 5 minutes to go with some other I have. Just one moment, please, because I have a list of words which I will be sharing with you as well. Sorry, just hang on. Okay, I hope it should be visible. And look at these words. Any word ends with the C-A-L-L-Y. What we do, we say it as kali, kali, musically, military, and dramatically, ecologically. No, these letter A's you have to silence. And if there are two consonants together, like double L, you have to silence one of them as well. So that means ecologically, logically, clee, not kali, without the A. CLY, clee, like that. Psychologically, ethnically, frantically, and then you have this periodically. Periodically, no. Periodically, physically, no. Physically. So these are the list of words that will help you to identify these words. Not romantically. And then you don't say solitary, no, solitary. Systematically, no, systematically, because any words ending with a C-A-L-L-Y, you just have to mute the A, go with the remaining. And then some of the other words that I have here for you is that there are so many E beginning words. There are almost like 170 words approximately, which I handpicked from the dictionary. All these words, what we do is that we actually apply the sound of A. There is a E beginning word, so we apply the sound of A, like yafakte, excuse me, yajakte, yelicite, yelit, yelite, something like that. Yelope, employ, employer, enact, extend, extract, extraordinary. No, the sound, the first sound is not the A sound, it's the E sound. Like instead of A, as in get, as in um uh, like let, not fat. It's the sound of I as in ink, I as in India. So you have to say, starting from here, except, not in encode, no, encode. Just replace the E with I. Encode, enclosure, encompass, encounter, encourage, encrypt, excel, accept, exchange, excite, excited, exclaim, exclusive. Yes, you have to give this that sound because yes in between the vowels. Exclusive. Excuse me. So likewise there are not exam. That is another word that we are familiar with. Not exam is like exam. IGZAAM, like exam, exam, something. Excuse me, not excuse me. Excuse me. So that is how we have to pronounce. These are some of the words that I have a list of words ending with a AGE. So you may, I'll send it across. You may take a look at that, and then look at this word. Look at these words. These words all, you see only the yes letter, but you have to give the Z sound because the yes is in between the vowels. So you have to say abase with the Z sound, abuse with the Z sound, accuse with the Z sound, acquisition with the Z sound because the yes is in between the vowels. So you have to say acquisition. Because with the Z sound because the yes is in between the vowel. And then busy. The spelling is B-U-S-Y, but you have to pronounce it as it is B-I-Z-Y. Busy. Cause. Cheese. Choose. Chose. Desert. Not the yes sound like desert. It's a desert. Likewise, poison. Sorry, please. phase, nose, music with the Z sound, fuse, easy, excuse, design, perfection, the letter yes. So reason. So likewise, there are many, some of the words that I have, list of words that we don't, we may have to develop the way how we have to pronounce it. I'll just go rush it quickly and then we're done. Okay, just give me 5 minutes, we're done, please. Abacus. We usually say like abacus. It should be abacus. Abacus. Adjacent. Adobe. Alternative. We say alternative. It should be alternative. Amazon. No Amazon. It's Amazon. Amazon. Appetite. Appetite. Athlete. Not athlete. Is an athlete. No athlete. It's athlete. Analyze. Not analyze. 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 Binoculars. We say binoculars. It's like binoculars. Biscuit. The letter U is actually mute. So you have to go with the remaining. Biscuit. Boutique. Boutique, we usually say. It should be boutique. Broccoli. No broccoli. It's broccoli. Broccoli. The O is mute. So broccoli. Cabbage. No. Cabbage. Because any word ends with AGE, you have to give the short sound. Cabbage. Certain. No. Any words ending with the TAIN, you have to mute the I. So certain. The R is mute because the R is followed by the letter T, which is a consonant. Chicken. Not chicken. KIN. Chicken. Circuit. Circuit. The U is silent. So circuit. Circuit? No. Circuit. KIT. Kit. That's a sound. Sorry. Chaos. Chaos. Cliche. Colleague. Colleague. Look at this word. If you go to UK, they say colleague with the long sound. Co. But what we say? Co. With the short sound. Colleague. 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 If you go to US, they say colleague with the long sound. What we say? Colleague. 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 Either way, we use a short sound, but the actual sound is long. You go to UK, they say colleague. If you go to US, they say colleague. It's not very challenging. Instead of the long sound, we use the short sound. Just replace it. Long sound. Colleague. Colleague. You got it right. Competitor, not competitor. Competitor. Content. Content. There's only one spelling for this word, but there are two pronunciations, two different meanings. The meaning is always understood based on how well you pronounce this word. If we say content, it means it's a noun. Noun or adjective, meaning stuff, matter, material, or the most important thing. But if we say content, giving the stress for the second syllable, there are two syllables. If you give the stress in the beginning, it's noun, meaning stuff, matter, material, or the most important thing. But if you stress the second part, it turns out to be a verb, like content. If we say content, that means satisfaction, happy, all right, comfortable. That's the meaning. I'm content with my life. I'm content with my job. That's how we have to pronounce it. So what is the content of the book? That is not the word. What is the content of the book? That's how we have to ask. So cucumber, not cucumber, cucumber. Cuisine, debt, decisive, defect, defect. Look at this word again. Defect, defect. There are two pronunciations with this word. If you say defect, it means fault, mistake, error. But if you say defect, it means moving from one place to another. For example, I'm going to defect from Mar Gregorius to DG Vaishnav College. Defect, meaning moving. But if you say defect, there is a defect with the phone, meaning there's a problem with the phone, like that. Likewise, there are so many words like conduct, conduct. There are other words that we already say correctly, except some words like produce, produce, convict, convict, subject, subject, present, present. Likewise, if you stress in the beginning, different meaning. If you stress in the second part, it's a different meaning. Likewise, there are so many words. Demon, Demon, no. Demon. Deluxe, we say deluxe. Sorry, deluxe, we say deluxe. It should be deluxe. Deluxe. Democratic. India is a democratic country. Demonstrate, we say demonstrate. It should be demonstrate. Develop, not develop. Develop. Diabetes. Diabetes, not elite or elite. It should be elite. Like ILEET, elite. That's how we have to pronounce elite. Entrepreneur, entrepreneur. That's how we have to pronounce. In this word, I'll go a little more quickly. Environment, we usually say it should be environment. Environment. Equivalent, we say equivalent. It should be equivalent. Equi, equi, lant, lant, equivalent. That's how we have to pronounce. Extravagant, no, extravagant, extravagant. Executive, executive, no, executive. Ig, with the Z sound. Executive. Facial, fasten, fatigue, forfeit, no, forfeit. Genre, giraffe. Giraffe, no, the animal, giraffe. Graffiti, graffiti meaning you scribble on something. The scribbling is called graffiti. You scribble on the wall, you call that as graffiti. You scribble anywhere, it is called graffiti. So graffiti, guava, this fruit. I'm sure that this is going to struck your mind. Most of us would say guava, guava fruit, koyapur, guava. It's not guava, guava. Just write it down. Gwava, guava, guava. That is how we have to pronounce. Or Gvava, guava, like that. Not goa, guava. That is how we have to pronounce this fruit. Haitian, honest. The H is silent. All these words with this line, like honest, honorary, honorable, honesty, honorarium. All these words. Okay, the H is mute. You have to go with the O. Honest, honorary, honorable, honorarium, all those without the H. Hypocrite, hypocrite, no, hypocrite, K-R-I-T or C-R-I-T, crit, not crite. Imperative, imperative கிடையாது. There are two meanings. One, we use it with the grammar part, that is imperative sentence. The other one is meaning is important. It's imperative to speak English with correct pronunciation, like that. Imperative. Interrogative, interrogative, no, interrogative, interrogative. Italy. Jeopardy. Language, language, no, language, language. Leisure. Leisure, illa. Leisure, leisure, like S-E-R-E, pleasure, like pressure, measure, like that. Lettuce, no, lettuce, lettuce. Liaison. Logistics, we say logistics. It should be logistics, short sound. Lure, machine, manipulate, mentor. Monk, we say monk. It should be monk, the short sound. Negotiate, S-H-I, she, negotiate. Niche, nuance, obesity. Ogre, onion, onion கிடையாது, onion கிடையாது. Like onion, onion கிடையாது. Onionனா மூணு sound. Take the middle sound. Onion. That's how we have to pronounce. We're closing. A little more quickly, I'll go. Oven, petrol. We say petrol, but this word has to be pronounced like the petrol, like Kurandai petrol. That petrol. That's how we have to pronounce, not petrol. There's one more called patrol, police patrol. That is not patrol. That is patrol, not petrol. Patrol. Police, no police. Police. Police petrol. Police patrol, not petrol. Patrol. Police patrol. That's how we have to say. That word petrol is not petrol. It is petrol. Kurandai petrol. That petrol. Photography. Photography. No. Photography. Plumber. Plumber. No. Plumber. Plumber. The M is silent. Sorry, the B is silent. The R is silent. So plumber. Preface. Preface. Preface, no. Preface, F-I, yes, face like that. Premature, preview, pronunciation, pronunciation. No, when you say the word pronounce, the basic form of the word, it is pronounce. But when you say the extended form of the word, it is pronun, not noun. Pronunciation, the spelling itself is that way. Pursue, pursue, no. Pursue, qualitative, quantitative, question. We say question, something like that. It should be quest. There's already a word called quest. Quest, quest for life, something like that, or quest for happiness. That word, first part. And question, chun, chun, question. Ques, or like Wes, quest, question. That's how we have to pronounce it, spelling way. Question. And then racial, we already saw that. In this word, receipt, no. It's like receipt, seat, seet, seat, receipt. That is how we have to pronounce this word, receipt. Reconciliation, reconciliation, no. Reconciliation, meaning reunion. Representative, restaurant. AU in the middle are silent. So restaurant, restaurante, no. Restaurant. Sewage, sewage, no. Sewage. Sew as in super. Sewage, IDGE, like sewage. Situation, no. Situation, like switch podungappa, we say, like that. Situation. Social, spinach, squirrel, squirrel, no. Squee, SKWI, squee, RAL, squirrel, like that. Statistics, we say statistics, it should be statistics. Suicide, there are actually three sounds. We should be talking about this word, but then pronunciation. Suicide, tuition. That's how we have to pronounce the word. This word, sod, S-O-D, the W and the R, both these letters are silent in this word. So you have to go with the remaining. Sod, thoroughly, no. The U is silent. So thoroughly. Tortoise, no. Totus, totus. That is how we have to pronounce. Just the letter R-I-E, silent. So totus. Vehicle, no. V with the long sound. V, again the letter E, long sound. Vehicle, like kill him. There's a word called K-I-L-L, kill, like that. So vehicle, that's how we have to pronounce it. Not vehicle, not vehicle, not vehicle, something like that. It should be vehicle, vehicle. And then Wednesday. The D is mute, E is mute. For the yes, you have to give the Z sound. So Wednesday. So that is it. I just went pretty faster just to give you a conclusion. So now there are so many bits and pieces we have seen today. If you're able to catch up everything, and then if you're able to implement that in your speech, and I'm sure that wherever you are, your level, that will be pushed to the upper level. Suppose the way how you speak English, the overall English, including the pronunciation, your competency is around 60%. But if you implement all these things that we have learned today, I'm sure that your level will be pushed on to 75, because the way how we speak English, that matters a lot. And I'm sure that by listening to me, I'm sure that you listened to my English in the last 1 hour or so. How do I speak like? Maybe it is different, but it is not something that you can say, no, we don't want this kind of English. Not everybody could say that. Now, any interview you go, anywhere you go, it will always be welcome, because, and especially if you're going to be an English teacher, this is going to help you to teach the students. You need to inspire the students into speaking English like this, because the job opportunities are going to be more. The only advantage is that job opportunities. The second one is that probably like the way wherever you go, you give a speech, you talk in English, people always respect you the way how you speak English. So that matters a lot. Since we're all English, it is better if we try to pick up all these bits and pieces and implement it. We may not speak like the British. That's not necessary. At least we try to pronounce the words appropriately. That is going to give a lift with our English level. So, and I'm sure that you understood whatever I spoke about, and I'm sure that you would have at least learned some words how to pronounce correctly. I've done my PhD in English pronunciation. I've gone so deep into it. Just look at my English, how I speak. You know how where I studied. I studied in my village. I'm from a small village from Viluppuram district called Malayarasan Guppam. I studied in Tamil medium till my plus two. I did not even know how to speak in English because even in the English teachers on the village side, they read in English, but they explain that in Tamil when it comes to English subject. That kind of background I was from. I studied in Nandanamarch College. I studied in Pachapas College. Don't just start thinking, oh, I didn't know that if I would have studied in Nandanam or Pachapas, things would have been different. Don't think like that. It's self-interest. So I studied in those colleges. Now, the way how I speak English is the way just how I started. This is how I started learning. This is how I started practicing. This is how I speak English all the time. I also have a YouTube channel called English with Dr. Suresh. You have so many YouTube videos, like more than 200 something. So I always talked about this English pronunciation. So those are like bits and pieces. We can just pick it up. It's practice. More and more you practice, you get better at it. We know about this concept, practicing concept. English itself is practiced and again imitated, just like babies. How do babies learn Tamil in the beginning? They observe. They observe very carefully. They pick up all the sounds people speak around, put it in their memory and then keep practicing. In the beginning, it flips here and there, and then sometimes we laugh at the kid, the baby, but it does not give up. It keeps observing, keeps practicing, keep memorizing all those sounds, and then at one point of time, like by the age of 5, it'll start speaking Tamil best, the better. Nobody would have taught the language, nobody would have taught the vocabulary or grammar or sentence structure or sentence type or whatever it is. Automatically the babies or the kid pick up the language. Imitation. Okay, that's the best way to learn English, not any other way. Maybe whatever the idea, the method you're going to talk about, that's only secondary. The best way is just that imitate. You listen to people, copy from them, put it in your memory, and then you start using it. Start listening to many people, start copying many things, and then put it in your memory, and then you start using it. You get better, better, better at one point of time. You're the best, best of the best. So that's how this language always work. And thank you for this opportunity, ma'am. And if there is anybody with any doubt or any question, you can please ask so that I can try give you answers for your question. Please go ahead with your questions, please. Yes, you can go with some questions. We have a WhatsApp WhatsApp group. In that group, I will send some of the material that may help you, including this PPT. I will send you. Don't worry about that. The PPT as well as some of the slide, the handout that I have. I'll send it across. Anybody, any questions? You may even put it in the chat box as well if you have any question. Otherwise, you can unmute and ask any question.
Sir, good evening.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, I am Dr. K.V. Lakshmi from Hyderabad.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, thank you very much, sir. Such a great session, very informative and instructive. And my question is, sir, will you take any classes, sir? It means monthly, any subscriptions just to learn the pronunciations? Means,
Well, nothing like that kind of classes, ma'am. But if anybody comes with any doubt anytime, I'm always there to help. You may even get my number. You can talk to me anytime. I will always be there to help you.
Okay, sir. One more session. Yeah, you said no, sir. You are entirely you are from traditional
Tamil,
means
yes, Tamil
background only,
medium.
no traditional background, Tamil traditional Tamil background.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
But
ma'am.
your accent is not like that, sir. Give me means give us, sir, some tips. Now you I already how to improve our pronunciation, sir, by listening news or by listening somewhere else. You please provide us some kids tips, sir. How to
Best, best, ma'am.
improve our
First thing,
pronunciations.
yes, thank you, ma'am. I really appreciate that from Hyderabad. You've joined here and attending the FDP program, but I'm so happy that
Sir,
you asked some question. Very good. I
sir,
appreciate your questions,
sir.
ma'am. Then, simple. The reason that I'm here, meaning the way how I'm talking, it's all completely dependent upon my interest. I was extraordinarily
Okay,
interested in learning this language, speaking the language beautifully. So I started practicing from the
okay,
beginning. So first I started watching some English movies. So what you can do if you have
okay,
kids or if you really want to develop your English or anybody wants to develop English, probably you
sir.
may have news channel like TV. Pick up some
Okay,
you may have even in the YouTube channel some animated movies. Some animated movie you can
okay,
pick up, you can just watching it. Watch the same movie again and again. Just imagine that if you watch the same
okay,
movie about 10 times, and then the way how you
okay, sir.
understand the movie in the beginning would be different from the way how you're going to understand after 10th time. And the words that
Okay,
you
sir.
have understood would be different from after 10 times. So you will start picking up automatically. You just don't have to do anything. Just watch the movie again and again, again and again. But focus only on the language, not the movie, not the story, not the
Okay,
background, not the characters, just the language. Focus onto that. What you can do, you might
okay, sir.
even play the movie and then put the
Sir.
phone upside down, put a earphone,
Okay,
only listen.
okay,
Not don't watch the
okay,
movie, just listen to the movie. Do
okay,
that
sir.
for 10 not the times. I'm story, sure not the that background, the way how you're going to learn. Not only that, you have to practice. So every word,
Sir.
pick it up, write it down, and then start practicing it. Just start re-watching that movie again and again, and then you practice. Don't watch the movie, just listen to the movie so that you can learn
Sir.
the way how you
Sir.
pronounce. Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
sir, my one more. Can I ask you one question, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, how much time? Okay, sir, it depends entirely on interest only, sir. Suppose if we practice half an hour or 15 minutes, so how much time does it take, sir, to improve our pronunciations? I means
If you
regular
practice
practice, minimum.
regular practice, just if you practice about an hour every day, in about 6 months
Okay,
you can find the difference. You can in 6 months your English will be different completely from the way how you
complete.
speak now. It'll be a little more
Okay,
polished, like polishing. It's like renovating. Why do we renovate our house? Is to make it better,
okay,
look like better, like a new house, attractive. The same way how we have to try to renovate our English, like try
okay,
change here and there, do some patchwork, and then make it better, make it sounded better, beautiful, so that it will be professional. So you can do that.
sir.
It is easy, but you need to
Yes, sir.
practice constantly.
Constantly, sir. Yeah, vigorous
Yes, ma'am.
practice needed. Right,
Yes, ma'am.
sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much,
Welcome,
sir,
ma'am.
for your
Welcome, ma'am.
suggestions. Thank you, sir.
Welcome, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am. Any other question?
Can I add to what you were saying just before
I'm sorry. You have
regarding
any?
watching the
Yes,
movie?
ma'am. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. May I suggest that along with most of the times when people watch movies, they say that they can't go, they can't go with the flow because the pronunciation is completely different, which is quite difficult for us Indians to, follow it up. So, what is your take on watching the movies with the subtitles? Means you can read it, you can understand it first, and then watch it again and again, and then off the subtitles, just like the way you said, flip the phone upside down and then listen to it again. What is your take on this, sir?
Now that is also another way of learning, but the best way, the natural way. It's like the babies. Play a movie, put a earphone, put the phone upside down, and then listen to the movie. Of course, you're not going to understand in the beginning, but what I'm saying is that I will listen to it again and again. For example, 10 minutes a day at least, the same part again and again, same part again and again, 10 times. Just listen to the movie 20 times. Just see how your understanding is going to be. Maybe in the beginning you can just watch it to get an idea, the picturization and the background and the characters and how things are. And then from the second time onwards, you can just flip it and then listen to the movie. First time you watch it, second time onwards, you listen to it. Just like everything, we don't get everything just like that, right? We practice and then we get it. Even when we learn bicycle, what we do, which is the best way? Somebody holds it all the time and then you ride it and then you learn it? Or you just start trying yourself and then you fall down and then get up and then start moving alone, you learn it. Which is the best way? You just have to fall down and then get up and then keep moving. It's going to take time. It's overnight. It's not going to be overnight. It's going to take time. Likewise, of course, it's not going to be understandable. It's going to be very challenging to understand. But you have to make sure that you keep at it until you understand it. At least 10 times. Keep doing that again and again. Listen. 20 times. Listen, listen, listen. You will. That will definitely happen. There is a saying in Tamil, Adimela Adichalum Amiyum Nagaran Solvanga. Like that, I don't know whether you're Tamil, but if you keep knocking the rock again and again, it will start moving. Like that. It will happen. But you have to have confidence. You need to just keep on practicing. It's not going to be very difficult because I'm a guy from a small village, Tamil medium background. When I could get this, anybody could get this. Easy. I hope you got some idea, ma'am. Yes, any other question?
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
This is Adlin Jerina Mary from St. Alfonso College, Kanyakumari.
Okay.
Just as you were speaking, I too handle students from rural areas who are predominantly from Tamil medium, and I have
Okay.
been giving them tips about watching movies. But then I find that the students are not motivated. They don't. I don't know. It's because they are lethargic or don't know the prominence of English language. Is there any method to motivate them in order to like become proficient in the English language?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. I appreciate it. First, if you want to develop your pronunciation, so I may have to ask you to watch movies, but your scenario is different. So people are from Tamil medium. So what is the best way? The best way is that they don't have to read any book, they don't have to watch any movie, whatever they can speak on a daily basis. They already know the words. It's already there in their memory. Okay, so ask them to bring it out. Simple. Ask them to speak in English with the words that they have. Let them make as many mistakes as they can. It's okay. Let them not bother about the grammar. Let them not bother about the sentence structure. All they have to do is start practicing. For example, நேத்து வந்தியாடா காலேஜுக்கு அப்படின்னு நம்ம ஒரு கேள்வி கேட்குறோம். அவனுக்கு தெரியும் நேத்துன்றது எஸ்டர்டேன்னு தெரியும். வந்தையான்றது கம்முன்னு சொல்லுவான், இல்லைன்னா கேம்னு சொல்லுவான். அப்ப நீங்க கேட்கலாம், எஸ்டர்டே கேம் காலேஜ், பரவாயில்ல அப்படியே பேசிட்டோம். ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் த பிகினிங். நீ முதல்ல உனக்கு தெரிஞ்சதை பேசுறான்னு சொல்லுங்க. உனக்கு தெரிஞ்சதை முதல்ல பேச. ஆல்ரெடி உனக்கு தெரியும். சாதாரணமா ஒரு விஷயத்தை நீ கம்யூனிகேட் பண்றதுக்கு உனக்கு என்னென்னலாம் வார்த்தை தேவையோ அந்த வார்த்தை எல்லாமே உனக்குள்ளேயே இருக்குது. நீங்க சும்மா எக்ஸ்பெரிமெண்ட் பண்ணி பாருங்க. ஏதாவது 2 எக்ஸாம்பிள் சொல்லுங்க, ஒரு சென்டென்ஸ் எழுதுங்க, அவனுக்கு ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா அவனுக்கு மீனிங் தெரியும். மேபி அந்த சென்டென்ஸ் ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் மட்டும் கொஞ்சம் ஃபிளிப் பண்ணிடுவான். அதுதான் பிரச்சனை. தட்ஸ் ஓகே. ஆரம்பத்துல தே ஹாவ் டு டூ திஸ். அவன் இருக்கிறத முதல்ல ஆஸ்தம் டு பிரிங் இட் அவுட். அது பேச 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 ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா அது சரியாயிரும். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், ரோடு போட்ட உடனே பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டே பாத்தீங்கன்னா ரோடு போட்ட உடனே ரொம்ப அப் அண்ட் டவுனா இருக்கும், ஒரு மாதிரி இருக்கும். பட் வண்டி எல்லாம் மேல போக 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 ஒரு வாரம் கழிச்சு பாத்தீங்கன்னா ரொம்ப ஈவன் ஆயிரும், அப்படியே ப்ராப்பரா இருக்கும். லைக் தட் ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா சரியாயிரும். அப்ப அவன் என்ன பண்ணணும், ஒண்ணுதான் அவனுக்கு அவன் லெவல்ல சொல்லணும், ஈஸியா சொல்லணும் அப்படின்னாக்கா he has to start speaking. இருக்கிறத பேசு. தெரியலன்னா தமிழ் வார்த்தை பேசு, மிக்ஸ் பண்ணி பேசு, பட் பேசு, முயற்சி பண்ணு, பேசிக்கிட்டே இரு. That is the only best way. There is no other easy way.
Thank you so much, sir,
Welcome,
for the idea and the thought.
ஏன்னா அப்படிதான் நான் ப்ராக்டிஸ் பண்ணேன், அப்படிதான் வந்திருக்கேன். நானும் தமிழ் மீடியம் தான் வந்திருக்கேன். So this is how I practice. I got it. Thank you, ma'am. Any other? Yes. Any other question? Anybody else with any question? Please, you can go ahead. You can even post it in the chat box.
Sir, there is this
Yes, ma'am.
question from YouTube. How to pronounce LAND?
Uh, Land. That is land.
Yeah,
Obviously, it's a long sound. Land.
land.
But when you put that word with another noun, wasteland, not wasteland, it's wasteland. When you put that as a compound noun, there the land becomes land. But individually, this word is land, as it is. I hope you got that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Welcome. Okay, ma'am. If anybody has any,
Sir, one more question.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Sir, the word environment, R is pronounced or not, sir?
Ma'am,
Environment or
it
environment?
is. The R is pronounced, ma'am, because R க்கு அப்புறம் vowel இருக்கு. So chat box பாருங்க. Environment. Chat box பாருங்க. அந்த மாதிரி தான் வச்சிரணும். Environment. So environment. So Y is the syllable that we need to give stress. So environment. Environment.
Thank you, sir.
R must be pronounced, but not like the more than one beat, like no. ஒரே beat மட்டும். Environment. அப்படி தான் வச்சிருக்கணும். Environment. Environment கிடையாது. Why? Because the I is pronounced in two ways. Sometimes it is I, sometimes it is E. F-I-T, fit. But F-I-G-H-T, we say I, fight. But here, we have to apply the sound of I, not E. I hope you got that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So I've given my number. Anybody has any doubt, you can always get in touch with me. Or if you have any doubt, if you feel like you're hesitant, you're welcome to get in touch with me.
Yes, thank you, sir. That was a very interesting session, of course, and it is obvious that the session was well received too. The art, it is said that the art of pronunciation is the music of language, and definitely we have to agree that words danced on the tip of your tongue today. The deliberation was so clear. It was a clear sky on a sunny day, sir. It was bright and clear to us. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for enlightening us today.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir.
And I appreciate everybody for organizing this wonderful FTP, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So, may I now request Professor Shubha to propose the vote of thanks to acknowledge the contribution of the resource person, participants, and the supporters. Over to Professor Shubha.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you is such a prayer that cannot be seen or touched. It must be felt by heart. I feel honored and privileged to get the opportunity to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. On behalf of the organizing committee, I am thankful to our Secretary, Reverend Father Matthew Pallikunnan in absentia, and our Principal, Dr. R. Shrikant, for giving us the opportunity to host this faculty development program. I thank our Vice Principal, Dr. G. Gayatri, in absentia, for her help and support in organizing today's program. Deep from my heart, I thank our speaker, Dr. P. Suresh, for accepting our invitation and conducting such an informative and educational session. I would like to thank our beloved Mrs. G. Prada, in charge, head of the department, for her constant help and guidance that helped us to organize this immense 5-day faculty development program. I am very much thankful to all our participants for their active participation in this event and making it such a success. An event of this dimension cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling months in advance. We have been fortunate enough to backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated staff and student volunteers. I cannot thank everyone enough for the involvement they have shown and the willingness they have expressed to take on the completion of tasks beyond their comfort zones. Thank you for making this event successful. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much, Shiva ma'am. With this, we come to the end of today's session. Feedback link is posted here in the chat box as well as in the YouTube chat box. The link will be active for the next 15 minutes. And I request all the participants who participated to fill the feedback link without fail. Thank you for your support. Thanks for joining us. And let us catch up tomorrow's. Let us catch up in tomorrow's session at the same time. Thank you. The feedback link will be active for the next 15 minutes. Participants kindly fill within the stipulated time. The feedback link is also shared in the YouTube chat box. Participants, those who have filled the feedback form can leave the meet. Participants who have filled the feedback form can leave the session. I hope all the participants have filled the feedback link. With this, we are signing off and we shall meet in tomorrow. Thank you.